New York City, I mean, I guess can be considered a shithole to a lot of people. Sorry, no disrespect to anybody that's from there, and I'm sure there'll be none taken. But they are the first big city in the country to kind of implement these uber authoritarian passport, vaccine mandate type stuff. And I just want to, this is a graphic that was shown when he was talking. And I just want to put this into perspective and us to look at what's going on here right now. Okay? So you guys can see it right now. We have it pulled up. The way they word it, which is how they always do it, they try to word it in this pretty language. It's authoritarian as shit, basically holding a gun to your head. But it's, look at us, we're prettying up the language. So it's the key that unlocks New York City, right? You get this access to all this great stuff. Now, what is it that they're saying has to happen? So when you talk about like the proof of vaccination status, okay, you look at this list, and I'll name off some of these for our viewers that are just listening in. They have, so it's broken up in 3 sections. You have indoor entertainment, indoor dining, and indoor fitness. So, you got movie theaters. It says for entertainment, live music. So if you're going into concerts or anything, you can't do that. You can't go to the museum. Can't go to the zoo or the aquariums. You can't go see sports. No stadiums. Can't go to convention centers. Arcades. Can't go to the damn bowling alley. You can't shoot pool. Motherfuckers. Can't go to recreational game centers. And you can't do whatever adult entertainment. So you can't go to the strip club either. Unless you have proof of vaccinations. Indoor dining. So obviously, you can't go to the fucking restaurant without the proof of vaccination. Event space, can't go to the bar, can't go to the nightclub. Can't go to a grocery store that has dining in it, indoor dining. Can't go into fast food restaurants that have indoor dining. And of course, the fitness spot is where you can't. The place that you go, which would have, if people focused on their health, that would have mitigated the impact of this virus in this country, specific in fat ass America, more than any of these stupid ass mandates that they're doing. And let me make sure I'm on record fucking saying that again, because I called this shit earlier on when I was looking at data coming from South Korea. And I told you assholes, I said, look, we know that there's a underlying issue here, and a lot of these guys are dealing with obesity, and a lot of these guys dealing with heart disease is often associated with bad dieting and bad and poor eating habit that are struggling with this. The most guys that are smokers and stuff, and still when it got over to America, you had all these people advocating for basically you living in a bubble. They banned the gyms, said you couldn't go to the gym, and then they said that, you know, you can go to McDonald's or whatever and go through the drive-through and you can do all that, eat unhealthy as you want. That would have saved more lives if the public health experts actually cared about your health. You know what they would have been telling y'all to do? This is a great time to get off your fat ass. That's what they would have said. They would have said it just like that too. Between 75 to 80% of hospitalizations are obese. Excuse me. Can't speak for some reason. Obese. That would have saved more lives. They didn't need a mandate. Said you need to focus on your health. That would have saved more lives than any of these mandates and all of this other stuff. But they didn't do that. And now, excuse me, my bad. Pushed the wrong button. But now you see right here, as it states in indoor fitness, you can't go work out. You can't go to the pool. You can't go to a pool, bro. You can't go to the pool. Can't go to sports classes, dance studios, fitness centers, and classes and gyms. You can't go to any of those. So you can't go work out. You can't go work on your body. You can't do something that is objectively going to make this virus be able to be dealt with in a better situation unless you get this makes no sense. And this is why it's hilarious to me, though not funny, literally. It's actually pathetic, sad, and probably enraging for a lot of people. That folks act like this has anything to do with health. This shit ain't got nothing to do with health. We're long beyond that. You could have tried to make that argument way back in the gap. This ain't got nothing to do with health. None of this has anything to do with health. It doesn't make sense. The data doesn't add up. And then how they react in the government, the state, and what people advocate that the state does shows you they don't care nothing about the health. You knew they didn't care nothing about the health when they were willing to lock you down for something with a survival rate as such, no matter if you were willing to assume the risk yourself. They said you didn't get the right to it. You don't get the right. They impede upon your right to exercise such a risk and taking an ability to take such a risk because they're trying to protect you from yourself. Rise in what? Domestic violence, other mental health issues often associated with it, suicide. Do the public health experts that advocated lockdowns and forced mandates and stuff like what we're dealing with now with vaccine passports, do they take credit, take responsibility for those? Of course not. Suicide attempts? Of course not, because it's not about your health, mentally or physically. It has nothing to do with that and everything to do with control. That's what this is about. Control, power. And these guys on a fucking power trip like no other. Doesn't end. It does not end until you get mass form of civil disobedience. And to their credit, I can show you something else here and how crazy this thing is getting. But to their credit, you have people that have been attempting to fight this back that are living in the New York cities of the world. Right? I saw what his gallery owner. I loved his answer too. I wish I had the video for it. But his gallery owner out there, I guess the reporter asked him a question because he had been appearing on the news and stuff as well. He said, I can't in good conscience require my patrons to be vaccinated and all of that. And the reporter said, you're saying, it's like, so you're saying that, you feel like this is discrimination. And he said something along the lines of, no, I'm not saying that I feel like this is discrimination. I'm saying that it is discrimination. And that's not how I was raised. He was right. He was always right, obviously. Another example of this we have right here. They're trying to file a lawsuit, which I don't think this is going to do them any good, but maybe. But you have the Independent Restaurant Owners Association, and they filed a lawsuit against New York City over the vaccine mandate there. And here is a bit of it right here that you can see. Faced with arbitrary preliminary statement, it says, faced with arbitrary, irrational, unscientific, and unlawful vaccine mass mandates in the form of New York City Executive Order 225, which is the one that was enacted by Mayor de Blasio, putatively to curb the spread of COVID-19 and the so-called Delta variant, mandates that would severely impact plaintiff petitioner business, life savings, and livelihood. Plaintiff petitioner seek a permanent injunction against New York City Executive Order 225. Now, again, I think the basic court's probably going to tell them to go fuck themselves, unfortunately. But what this really speaks to is, you remember, I think we covered it on here. We did in a segment when the announcement first came out. And he was like, oh, I've been talking to all of these business owners and this is what they want. And I'm like, I don't think so. Could the mega corporate entities get on board? Probably. But small business owners like restaurants, I don't think they agree with that. I don't think that's something that they want. And this is just yet another example of it. Look, New York City, I hate to hear shit like this happening to you guys, but y'all know until y'all grab the gonads, nut up, it's not going to end, man. De Blasio and Cuomo, when he was in, these guys are on a fucking power trip, man. Period. On a power trip. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.